Welcome back, my friends, to episode 2 of the Talos Principle. Last time out, we completed World 1, and I teased you a little bit by sort of saying, well, we have a star that we can try and go and find, but do you know what? We're not going to worry about the stars right now. Maybe we'll come back for the stars later, but for now, let's just focus on clearing some of these worlds. We're going to go to World 2 next, and you can see there is a star in World 2. Is there one star in each world? No, there's 2 stars in World 3, but the fact that they're on that sign rather than that sign, or 1 star and 1 star, tells me something interesting. Now these are unlockable abilities, right? So you need the ability to use a prism or something. I don't know. I think there are unlockable abilities in this game. I certainly recall something about like a time travel mechanic where you can use yourself.
Let this be our covenant. These worlds are yours, and you are free to walk amongst them and subdue them. But the great tower, there you may not go. For in the day that you do, you shall surely die.
Well, that's not ominous at all, is it? Okay. And we have a lovely terminal. Loading library session. What do we have here? Library archive is currently unavailable while system resources are redirected to handle incoming network messages. Okay, let's access the comm portal. Sure. Hello, is there something you'd help with today? A bit of troubleshooting, thank you. The most common cause of network problems is holding insufficient account privileges. Please enter the admin password to authenticate your privileges. Trust no one. This is actually a reference to X-Files, isn't it? Isn't there a scene in X-Files where Scully is trying to hack into Mulder's account and this turns out to be his password? Admin. Would you like to create a new admin account? Yes. In order to prevent unauthorized access, please take a moment to prove you are not a bot. You will now be asked for a series of inputs. To cohere with data protection legislation, you must consent to have your responses used to develop a broad psychometric profile. Your profile will only be made available to other administrators. Please complete all fields. Time is a factor. Begin certification program. Yes. 3, 2, 1. 2 plus 2. What is your subjective reaction to this image? It is a face. What best describes a person? I would say it is a rational animal. You're walking through the desert, you come across a thirsty traveller. Not a tortoise, on its back. You have water, but you're not sure how far it is to the next oasis. What do you do? I would offer half the water. You will receive a notification when part 2 has been generated. Do you know what? I remember now. There's something about, like, some of your responses get used later as well. Anyway, let's have a look. Ian. Email. Okay, this is from Frank to Miles and Dan. My first day at the Institute of Applied Pneumatics. On the way to work, I'm terrified. What if they don't like me? What if they're all geniuses and I'm a complete buffoon? Maybe they were just kidding about letting me work there. Trembling, I walk in, and right at the entrance there's a life-size poster of Jeff Goldblum. Then I get it. Institute for Applied Pneumatics. Ian. Dr. Ian Malcolm. We were trying to find a cool acronym back when the Institute was founded. Einan, Iapnan. It all sounded stupid, but we didn't just want to call it Ian because, well, that's a name. And so I made a joke about calling it Jeff, and then it kind of stuck, so we're officially called Ian. But if you hear anyone referring to Jeff, that's our internal name. I can confirm such conversations do happen in real life. Okay, let's have a look at Athena analysis. Okay, so what have we got? User Alex16 added 4 notes. Not the first sentence. She woke up over an impossible place knowing nothing. Signifies more than the beginning of another amnesia-based mystery, though we should not go so far as to read the entire work as allegory. Rather, while taking the science fictional novus at the core of the narrative at face value, we should. Note number 2. Having no inherent knowledge of the nature of the world, forced to rely on what we are told by others and what our own subjective, flawed, limited senses tell us, social reality, belief, and objective reality matter come into conflict. When in chapter 16, A Second Awakening in the Kingdom of Artemis, the protagonist questions her mentor on the... trails off. A more meaningful interpretation can only be achieved through synthesis of... trails off. Okay. This is the Straton of Stagiria. This game has a lot of very difficult to pronounce words. I'm not going to get them all correct for sure. Okay. Whether it is true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die as a man dies when he loses his blood. We may not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man. He moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, had wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If, then, a machine may have all the properties of a man and act as a man while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics, yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood. Okay, where are we going to go first? Let's check out... what is this here? It's a letter.
When I was a little girl, one of our teachers, Mrs. Higgins, told us to make a time capsule, write letters to the future, so one day we could remember what it was like to be children. I thought it was stupid, so I didn't do it, which I really regret. So, I guess I'm gonna make one now. Bury it in the archive instead of under a tree. I don't know if anybody will ever find it, but somehow it seems important to keep talking, to keep thinking, for as long as I can.
Considering there are only, apparently, 3 shapes here and they're all in those directions, there is a big, wide area that can be explored here, including some areas which... oh! Okay. Recording number 23. I don't really remember coming across Like, I remember one particular jump scare where an old memory is, like, literally running towards you. But I don't remember these environments being this large, in honesty. Oh, hey, we've got another terminal over here. We've got a QR code that we can't read. Let's have a look at the error. This is from John Milton, author of Paradise Lost. The day I oft remember, when from sleep I first awaked and found myself reposed, under a shade on flowers, much wondering where, and what I was, whence thither brought, and how. Topic 3. One day you discover that you are not a human being but a machine. Your life so far was real, no one controlled you or programmed you to behave in some specific way. Your physical and mental capacities are identical to those of an organic human being, but you were created in a lab. No one except you knows about this. Your family, your friends, they all think you are a regular human being like themselves. You could continue to live your life the way you have before, and nothing would change. How would you react? Pay specific attention to these questions. Does your concept of yourself change? Are you the same person you thought you were? Does your understanding of the world itself change? Do you reveal the information to others, or do you keep it to yourself, and why? This is 1,500 to 2,000 words, the 26th of the final deadline, no extensions will be granted. The subject is Grrrr, to 108 recipients. Wow. All these calm people are driving me mad. Have they all suddenly turned into Buddha or something? I didn't know the world had such reserves of serenity, though these latter-day Gautamas are at least being somewhat realistic. You know what's even worse? Those paranoid nutters who are building bunkers and collecting guns. What are they going to do? Shoot whatever it is, the calamity that's going to befall the world. Though I do have to admit, the overall response has been much better than I ever anticipated, to the point where I might be moved by the beauty of humanity if I wasn't such a grumpy old fart. This minority of total idiots is really messing up my final days. Anyway, the reason I'm writing is because I refuse to believe in scenarios with absolutely no solutions. If we all put our heads together, we can figure something out. It'll be crazy, but crazy is better than dead. Crazy is what we do best on this planet. So yeah, there's definitely some good opportunities for exploration, it would seem. I mean, like, most of the environments are just sort of... What was that noise? Like, it's... Oh, yeah, we've got another one. Another recording. Are these other players? I don't know. It doesn't really seem to be moving like a player. But then again, it's sometimes hard to tell. He's certainly not moving like an NPC. He's moving a lot more like a player than an NPC. I don't know. Let's take a puzzle on. We've got L over this way. Yellow L. The puzzles are all very clearly demarcated with these purple doors anyway, right? These are the material emancipation grids, as they are wont to be called, I suppose. So we've got a gun, which is off. We have an L right Okay, we've got a bomb. It sort of looked like something was glitching there, didn't it? I don't think we can... What is the best way to get that guy? I mean, we can... obviously, we can get him onto this side of the barrier. And then can we get round it? No, there is not enough room to get round him. Okay. Here's the first one that's going to stump us a little bit, I think. So we can turn that on. I don't know if that particularly helps us. Let's get you back onto the other side of that, right? If we jam you and turn this on... Like, I'm pretty sure the gun doesn't shoot the bomb. Oh, well, maybe it does. Okay, so the guns and the bombs are aggressive to each other. That's useful to know.
Good. You are learning, as is your purpose. But your choices must be your own. Therefore, I will not guide you, unless it is necessary.
Now, are the stars inside the puzzles, or are the stars just inside the worlds? Because there is no hint, aside from the fact that, yes, there is a star somewhere in the world, there's no hint about where it might be. Do all the bombs only do reciprocating motion? Oh, they bump into the jammers. Okay. Is there enough room for me to get round here and grab the jammer? Now that he's not bumping into the jammer, it should be perfectly fine for me to be able to get round him. Almost certainly useful to get him jammed from this side in case I need that jammer. Okay. That's fine, you're going off that direction, that's fine. So I'm going to stand back here and wait for this guy to go off into the distance. Yep. Over that way, please. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably fine. I think this is probably the end of the puzzle here. Okay. And one more to get from there. I don't know what this place is, and nor, it seems, does anyone else. Nothing I do but move forward and note whatever I find. Hall of Windows. Okay, so we've got an emancipation grid there, which prevents that coming through. We've got a weird glitch on this wall. Okay. Obvious first thing to do is put you there. Probably, I would say, jam this one. Yeah, because from this window, we now don't want that jammed. We probably want, like, that one jammed all the way over there. So I think that's the only other one you can see. I'm sort of vaguely trying to keep an eye out for a star, but, you know, I don't see any obvious, like, side paths or side rooms or anything like that. I think once we find our first star, which may or may not come by accident, you know, it'll give us a lot of insight into whether the stars are part of puzzles, or whether they are environmental things, or whether they're kind of meta puzzles, or what they are. But there we go. I think that is everything in World 2, or at least aside from the star and maybe some other terminals and things. It's a big environment, you know. There's a lot of it that we haven't explored. But then again, I mean, I guess it's just kind of not that sort of game, you know? It's not the kind of game where everything has a reason, everything has a purpose to it, right? I mean, the whole point is that we're kind of inside a computer simulation, so to an extent the architecture doesn't need to make logical sense, and it doesn't need to strictly fall within a puzzle game sort of narrative, right? No. Okay, but that's World 2. Let's check out World 3 next. So World 3, you've got 2 signs and 2 stars, so double the chances of us coming across a star by accident here. But first of all, we've got a terminal to go and speak to. Hello! Part 2 of the certification program has now been generated. Part 2 has been designed to test the consistency of some of your outlier responses in the previous round. You'll be presented with a series of statements. Indicate your agreement where appropriate. Agreed. Since only animals can be persons, a machine can never be a person. No. Well, ooh, oh no! Oh, you got me! With the current definition. But I suppose I would broadly disagree? It's the could never as the qualifier there, because the previous question was very much written in the present tense. A person is under no authority under that to which they consent. I would disagree with that. There's loads of authority that you don't have to consent to be under the authority under. The quality of life of persons ought to be maximised. Broadly, yes. Value is discovered. That is so pithy a statement as to almost say nothing. Persons deserve the talents that they were born into. I mean, people have talent. It's, that's more of an observable fact. Deserve is... not sure. The liberty of persons ought to be maximised. Broadly, yes. Value is created. I would agree with that. Your certification process is now complete. You will receive a notification when your user profile has been generated. Lovely. What have we got? AI feedback? We keep discussing that an artificial intelligence would mean to us and how it would change our understanding of the world. That's a great topic and I think we've covered it extensively. What we've barely mentioned though is the other side of the coin. I mean, our lives would still be what they were before, AI or no AI. The question I think we should discuss, even if it's all completely hypothetical, is the perspective of the artificial intelligence itself. What could it be like to be that creature, to suddenly come into being, created by others as an experiment? To have all the information about yourself, to know exactly how you function. What would you think about the world? Would you see meaning, beauty? How would you judge humanity? Where would you see yourself fitting into the grand scheme of things? I think we should try to put ourselves into the shoes of such a being. Dear Alexandra, thank you for your feedback, but this is a philosophy course, not science fiction, and that's why I almost gave up on my studies. An email to the team leads. Oh, spicy. We're blessed to have so many people contributing to this project, but we've got to make sure everyone's on the same page. Please refer to the following people when... So we've got a project lead, institute coordinator, EL software, EL hardware, generation module, scenario module, etc, 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 etc. Though not directly part of our project, the archive team is sharing both physical and digital space with us. If there are any technical issues to resolve, please contact their project lead. Don't worry, he's nice. Everyone at this organisation seems really nice. So this was a Greek materialist philosopher associated with the Peripatetic school. An admirer of Aristotle, he was a proponent of empiricism and a fierce critic of philosophy that placed belief before observable truths. Though unpopular with many of his peers for his often acerbic personal manner, his commentaries on Aristotle were considered an important work. Much of his writing was lost in the destruction of the Library of Alexandria. Okay. We have got some directions to go to. Now the red L has the 2 stars near it. Shall we start with the red L? This is a big old circle, this level. So we'll start here. I don't think... An escalating problem.
Here, those who are worthy may seek the counsel of my blessed messengers. But their wisdom shall not be given easily, for your accomplishments must be your own.
So is that like an in-game hinting system? I spent much time waiting for the designer to take my hand until I realised that he'd been guiding me all along. I realised it isn't for me to seek his help, but for me to help myself. Okay. Oh, this thing's going around corners for the first time. Alright. So this is some kind of hint system, I suppose. I don't know. I assume it is. Is that deep enough for us to hide inside? Oh, we can grab that. Okay. Well, let's just pop you inside the... We'll just pop you inside that room there, then. What have we got here? Okay. The door is locked. Okay, so we need to get into there, but we only have one jammer so far. Fine. Can we pop the jammer on here? Oh, we have a jump button, but we can't jump and put it up there. Can we grab it from up there? Yes! Perfect. Right, well if we jam that... Okay, so we've got one coming this way from there. Keys, lovely. Like, I'm assuming... nothing else in this section. Is there something over there? It's okay, we're not in a rush. We'll wait for this guy. Nah, it's just a bit of roof. Just a bit of roof that I could see. Okay. We can't jam that guy through the door. What is the range on it, though? Or do we jam it from down here somehow? I don't know. I'm presuming we can open the door and then jam it from back here. Oh. Well, there's a grid, but there's also a big old... gun as well, and the gun doesn't have an obvious wire coming off at this time. Am I supposed to deactivate the gun somehow? We do only have one jammer, right? Interesting. Yeah, just need to check. I'm not being like, you know, there is definitely just one jammer. If I drop down there without the jammer, I'm stuck. There's no way actually to come back. There isn't a second jam through here anywhere. Because that would be the obvious solution. Right, well, there's the button, actually, below the thing. Hang on. Does that guy come all the way up here and through here? Is he going to be the thing that blows up the gun for me? Because there's this window here which I was wondering about. Is this window for opening that up? Because they wander round corners now, so is that going to... Nah, there we go. Cool, so that's going to do the business. I need you to be like here, and then we go around here, pick you up. Up here, jam that, and there we go. Now, star anywhere? Yeah, not in any obvious spot, is it? Not in any obvious spot. Okay, well, the star mystery is going to continue, but that is going to wrap us up for episode 2 of the Talos Principle. I hope you've been enjoying it. Next time out, we're going to continue with World 3. We've got 4 or 5 more puzzle pieces to get from here. For now, though, have a great rest of the day. Have a great week. I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.